Hey guys, my name is Presley Milton. I'm here at the Adspend Mastermind. I had a great experience on the one last May in Arizona with Brian, and I just felt like it was a no-brainer to come up to New York City. And number one, experience New York, and number two, being in a room surrounded by other entrepreneurs facing similar problems. And I think especially a lot of things that we talked about at the last Mastermind really struck a chord with me because people here, they're not afraid to be vulnerable. They're not afraid to talk about what's going wrong in their business, and having that group of people that are at a similar position to you, not only in business, but also their attitude towards things, can help you overcome some limiting beliefs. And, just hearing some people talk about today, got some really good actionable takeaways. I'd say the number one thing is just being able to get like one or two specific insights. You may not even be here to learn about YouTube ads. I'm certainly not at that point yet where we're not even using YouTube ads, but just the ability to speak with people that are at a similar level in business and being able to ask a hyper-specific question that you necessarily can't get the answer to on YouTube or Google, that's priceless to me because you're not going to find that any kind of information anywhere else, because some questions can really only be answered by people that are actively in the trenches doing the thing, and most people can't answer that. I would say the biggest thing for me is like seeing how Brian's built his team and agency, and actually going and sharing. One of the things I really liked about today is him sharing, reducing expenses and, understanding that revenue is not always the end goal, and that if you have a team and you're super bloated, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because you're going to be more stressed than running a leaner team. And you have to be mindful of, at scale, you can actually end up building a business you don't like. And, being able to have that foresight and think a few chess moves ahead is really helpful as someone that's, wants to aspire to be where Brian's at. I think, him sharing those real lessons and losses is really helpful for me. Today I had the opportunity to speak, which is a really cool full circle for me, coming in as a guest last year after first joining the Mastermind, and now having the opportunity to share my knowledge and what we've learned, helping people grow on YouTube with our agency, being able to pass that along and pass that forward is really cool, as well as the opportunity to practice my public speaking abilities. I saw two people today that were way more experienced and way better at public speaking than I was, and it's really cool to be able to be inspired to get to that next level and next point in my career. For sure, and I feel like that should be everyone's goal when you're part of a mastermind, not just thinking about what you can get, but we can give back, because when you think about giving, opportunities seem to come your way, and the more you can think about paying it forward and passing along your unique insights, even if you're in a room where you feel like everyone's better and doing more than you, it doesn't mean you don't have unique insights you can share with everyone. So it's all about being willing to participate and speak up, even if you don't necessarily feel like you have the credentials to, because more than likely you might have one insight that could really change someone's business. I know I sure got, even just a few of the, listening to other people's questions, I realized very quickly that I had similar problems, and it was very cool to be able to pick up on that from a question that wasn't even mine. So we talked about YouTube Organic today, specifically about how, whether you're selling B2C or to B2B, you can be using YouTube to build trust with customers. One thing Brian is a big advocate of is YouTube ads and running ads to cold traffic. And one of the things he stresses recently is, like, especially in 2025 with ad costs going up and trust being down across the board, really important to have a brand to back that. And Cam and I talked about, my business partner, about building a YouTube presence where you have a library of videos of you showing proof that you do the thing and you're credible to actually go and support the effort in the ads, because without that, you're just making life a lot harder for yourself. So I think we give some really good insight onto how to leverage your personal brand to make your ads more effective. Yeah, Brian just gave us a lot of clarity on what we need to do with ads and how we can use it as an upsell or an intro offer to our clients. So even just providing that general insight of, hey, like, you can be running ads for clients, like, it's a really easy complimentary offer, really just sparked an idea, and that idea is something we're actively implementing right now. So even just getting that suggestion was worth the money alone, for sure, of how much we're probably going to end up making from clients from that implementation. The importance of running ads as a business owner is realizing that, the importance of running ads as a business owner is realizing that at some point organic could stall for you and you could be in a stagnant season, and having paid ads to mitigate and diversify that risk. We're at a point where we scaled our coaching program to 0 to 6 figures a month organically, and now we're realizing sometimes organic content stalls a little bit, and having the ability to just go and buy customers is something we're actively working towards, and I'm seeing how paid ads are going to be a huge asset for us pretty soon.